Fire raises Kaba Central Market in Kogi. Army captured 2 kidnappers, rescued 2 victims in Taraba. Women group protest over appeal court controversy in Kano. On the foreign scene, ECOWAS condemns coup plot in Sierra Leone. Ringleaders arrested. These are the headlines on Trust TV News Update at this hour. I am Ayuba. Thanks for joining. Goods and property worth millions of naira have been destroyed as a large part of Kaba Central Market in Kogi State has been gutted by fire in a dawn inferno on Monday. Shops and stalls fell prey to the destructive fire, leaving traders and residents in shock and sorrow as the flames consumed numerous businesses and sources of livelihood. Reports said that the fire started around 5 a.m. and rapidly spread through the market's vibrant stalls and shops. Troops of 6th Brigade Garrison Nigerian Army on anti-kidnapping patrol have, in a display of gallantry, captured 2 suspected kidnappers and successfully rescued the victims in Arokola local government area of Taraba State. This is contained in a statement signed and issued to journalists by 2nd Lieutenant Ayodeji Abiodun, the Acting Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, 6th Brigade Nigerian Army, Jalingo. This feat was achieved in the early hours of Sunday, 26th of November 2023, when the troops, acting on credible information, conducted a rescue operation on terrorists hibernating and operating area in the state metropolis. The Imo State Police Command has confirmed the gruesome murder of the traditional ruler of Otulu Amumara Autonomous Community in the Eziete Mbase local government area of Imo State, Joe or Cholo, by gunmen. In a statement by the police spokesman in the state, Henry Okoye, the traditional ruler was kidnapped by gunmen on November 25, 2023, but his lifeless body was found less than 24 hours later along Mbutu Community Road in the Abo Mbase local government area. According to the statement, the Commissioner of Police, Danjuma Boki, condemned in strong terms the unfortunate incident, vowing that the command will leave no stone unturned in ensuring that the perpetrators of the heinous crime are arrested and made to face the full wrath of the law. Kidnappers of 3 family members in Pape community of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, have refused to release the victims despite extorting 13 million naira from their relatives for a ransom. Trust TV's correspondent reports that the kidnappers who invaded the community on Saturday also wounded a veterinary doctor in the area. The report.
The 3 members of Dr. Asan Dahiru, a resident of Pagama community in Pape of Federal Capital Territory, FCT, were abducted when the community came under gunmen attack. The kidnappers, who went away with a woman and shot her husband, Bello Lawan, according to family sources, failed to release the victims after collecting 13 million naira as ransom. The attackers arrived at around 10 p.m., a few minutes after he returned back from work. Then the bandit got into the house. I was around my home here at the time, so after noticing a kind of squabble, I made an attempt to enter his house only to hear a gunshot. I immediately turned back and managed to look for somewhere to hide. He resisted the attempt to go with him, and that was the time they shot him. Doctor has engaged in running pharmacy, human and veterinary clinics, as well as farming in addition. A resident, Daniel Azaki, said the victim was a philanthropist who is fond of assisting people in the community.
The man is a good man. He is the person that you can move with people. He's a gentleman. Yes. Even this village is the man that will assist us to other works or to help the people.
Police in the Federal Capital Territory are yet to confirm the incidents.
Now, on political matters, women sympathetic to the NNPP have staged a protest in Kano on Sunday evening to express their concerns over the recent controversy from the appeal court judgment. The women carrying placards chanting support songs for the state governor, Abba Yusuf, approached the state police command and submitted a letter containing their grievances on the aftermath of the appeal court judgment. One of the protesters, Arabi Hotoro, said that the protest is to express concern over what transpired at the appeal court on Friday, November 17. Now, after months of controversy and uproar, Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu bit the bullet on Monday when he officially declared to run for the 2024 governorship election in the state. In a pre-recorded speech aired today, Shuaibu, who has been the deputy governor of the state since 2016, said he will run for the office of the #1 seat in the state on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. After his official declaration, Shuaibu launched his campaign office in Benin City, the state capital, at an event crowded with party supporters in branded accoutrements. The 53-year-old politician said that he has put his life on the line for the development and growth of the state, and he was determined to make the South-South state great again. The disconnect between government and town planners has been identified as a major cause of Nigeria's prevailing urban settlement crisis. This and many more were the focal point of discourse at the 6th Dosu Babatunde annual lecture with the theme Issues and Prospects in Physical Planning and Human Settlement, Development Health at the Polytechnic Ibadan. Speakers at the lecture charged government at all levels to adopt strategic planning of rural settlements, which they say is a necessary tool for national development.
Because people are already thinking that GIS is replacing, GIS is the Geographic Information System. It's now replacing planning. No, it's not replacing planning. Planning is something that comes from the knowledge of great thinkers, from the philosophy and visions of great thinkers of how a city should look. You had the guest speaker telling you understand that if you take Lagos State, for example, Lagos State is the smallest state in terms of land size in Nigeria, but it has the largest population. And he said Lagos has been divided into 40 districts. And if you take ShopRite being in one district, you expect that there is ShopRite or similar facilities in every single of the 40 districts that you have in Lagos. That is the power of planning.
For there to be development, there must be a handshake between the government and the town planner. The government must understand what the town planner is talking about. Because if they don't understand, they will not be able to implement it. And the beauty of any plan is its implementation.
If you talk of a housing deficit, you will see that it's all boiled down to issue of not having proper and adequate planning. In some areas, some school of thought will argue that, quite frankly, we don't have housing deficits.
The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, has described unity, cultural diversity as the root of development and progress in Nigeria and Africa as whole. The Vice President disclosed this during the Akesan Day celebration at Ikberu, Ogun State on Saturday. Trust TV's Abbas Ibrahim Dalibi reports.
Akesan Day is a traditional festival celebrated yearly in Ikberu area of Ogun State, southwest region of Nigeria. It is a celebration of women in entrepreneurship and leadership in Africa. The 37th Akesan Day was celebrated dynamically on Saturday, where sons and daughters of Ikberu land from Nigeria and abroad, as well as their friends and well-wishers, graced the historical event in their colorful traditional attire. the paramount ruler of Remo Land and the chairman of Ogun State Council of Obas, highlight the importance of the historical celebration.
To Remo people,
the event was graced by the Vice President of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, and several esteemed personalities. Speaking at the event, Shettima have the importance of unity and cultural diversity.
This edition of the festival, like the ones before it, steeped in the essence of the unity we have forged as a nation. It symbolizes the heartbeat of our nation, and Ogun State has long become the template for the resilience of our cultural practices and vehicles for progress.
Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun said the cultural festival, symbolized by the legendary Akesan, remain a symbol of heroic exploit, valor, and self-sacrifice for the common good of the Iperu people.
The Akesan Festival has attained global prominence because of its historical significance and serves as a reminder of the rich cultural heritage, tradition, and unbroken string of great accomplishments of the Peru rebels from their homestead.
Several traditional drummers, dancers, and singers entertained people that came from within and outside Nigeria to witness the colorful traditional festival. Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV, Lagos.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly, we'll tell you a story of how a university graduate offers female beauty care services. Details and more after the break.
We started manufacturing leather since 1958. But the most important thing is that if the system is checked correctly, we won't have where we are now.
If somebody has depression, they may just be very irritable and unproductive in the office. So you find on average already about 1 in 4, 1 in 5 Nigerians already have a mental illness, a mental health condition that needs some form of attention.
No matter how good an economy is, if the federal government goes bust, believe me, everything in the economy is just a matter of time it will go bust. So first of all, about maybe slightly above, below 70% is in federal government securities.
If government has banned importation of fertilizer and states are doing it at the level of governance, but I believe that production and distribution of fertilizer should be left to the private sector.
This is the general multi-purpose card and it has a chip here. So this chip is about 80 kilobytes. The one that you get from the bank for ATM is just 4 kilobytes. So this is like 20 times.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Here's a reminder of our top stories. Fire raises Kaba Central Market in Kogi State. Plus, Army captures 2 kidnappers, rescue 2 victims in Taraba. In other news, the College of Liberal Studies Hassan Usman Katsina Polytechnic has held a lecture to remember an iconic leader, late General Hassan Usman Katsina. Katsina Polytechnic was named after the famous military leader, late General Hassan Usman Katsina. This year's event was organized with a lecture titled Contemporary Security Challenges in Northern Nigeria, Genesis, Repercussions and Remedies. Abdullahi Amadi completes the story.
This is the second time Northerners from all walks of life assembled here to remember the good virtues, contributions, and best legacies of late General Hassan Usman Katsina. The guest speaker, Professor Habu Muhammad from the Center for Democratic Studies, Mumbai House, Bayero University, Kano, said the institution is remembering the Northern hero in a special way. He mentioned unemployment, living costs, economic barriers, social distance between the state actors and the society deliberately created to jeopardize the northern region. Besides these socio-economic factors, he pointed at religious extremism and other issues relating to education and food insecurity as major challenges. Similarly, struggle for resources, political, religious banditry, rural banditry, and other domestic violence, illegal mining and foreign interests, social media and its critical impact on the moral values had further reinforced insecurity in the north.
19 states in northern Nigeria, the situation of insecurity has been recurrent and highly challenging.
The most serious security challenge bedeviling the north today is a manifestation of some elements suspected to be members of Boko Haram in some areas of Niger State. This the professor attributed to the failure of governance to address insecurity through a coordinated approach by the governors of the affected states, which contributed to its persistent increase and escalation without any holistic approach to address it.
The security challenges have not actually been addressed, and they are frequently affecting each and every one of us in the whole of the north and in the whole of the country.
Speakers suggested community policing approach which required constitutional process that will facilitate the establishment of state police, coupled with ensuring maximum securing of Nigeria's borders as key. They also called for immediate change of attitude and action of political leaders in addressing insecurity challenges, forcing foreign investors away from the northern region. They also lamented how farmers are forced out of business, subjecting people to hunger and abject poverty, among other factors reinforcing insecurity and moral decadence. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Now, university graduates are now embracing self-sustaining initiatives in bid to earn a living amid the lack of white-collar jobs in the country. Trust TV's Ajibade Praise encountered an Imo State University graduate, Chibuike Escobar, who now make money from painting female nails in addition to making their hair. The report.
Fixing of nails and making of hair used to be an exclusive preserve for female. But not anymore, as youth like Chibuike, who are tired of waiting for white-collar jobs, now engage in this beauty vocation with a view to earn a living. So it is with a number of industrious ladies delving into the main occupations such as barbing, auto mechanic, and other engineering works to make ends meet, not minding the tedious nature of such vocations.
Initially, it's just what I have the passion. I love the work. Although I'm a graduate, I graduated as a electrical engineering. My advice to people is that they should not look down on anything. You know, work as it starts now, you must have your education and then your hard work. And I love this work. I love them. I know if you play with this work, even though I be like Cubana chief priest, I must have a shop where I'll be going. At least once in a week. Wow.
Some of the ladies who patronized Chibuike expressed pleasure and satisfaction over what they call his styling services.
The service was nice, like the nails is very nice. Came out very well. I like the design and everything on it, so it's very nice.
I feel okay, and I feel what a lady can do, a guy can also do it better. You get so. For the guys, like guys doing ladies' work, I think they are more relaxed when doing a lady's hair than the fellow lady. So So I prefer a guy doing my hair because he will calm down and do your hair very well and make you look nice than the other, maybe say my gender.
Narrating the challenges that comes with the job, Chibuike said the lack of power supply is a major problem they battle with on daily basis. They now run the business on generator sets, which undermines the desire to grow the business.
The challenges I'm facing is all about the fuel and the rent. This time around, no money. Nigeria don't rent. So money no day. So the little ones, we are just managing. The challenge is fuel, and the price is too much, and the shop rates are too much, and we are not seeing customers.
While he earns a living from this vocation, he says challenges of present-day economy of the country are impacting negatively on small businesses. Small-scale entrepreneurs like Chibuike only hope authorities concerned will do the needful to support their self-sustaining ventures. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
On the foreign scene, Sierra Leone's government said it was in full control on Sunday evening after reporting an attack at a military armory in the capital Freetown, what sparked armed clashes which the president called an attempt to destabilize the state. Authorities in the English-speaking West African country, which has been going through a political crisis following elections in June this year, have declared a national curfew until further notice. The president, Julius Maada Bio, said that late Sunday that calm had been restored after what he described as an attempt to undermine peace and stability in the country. The truce between Israel and Hamas entered its final 24 hours Monday, with the militant group saying it was willing to extend the pause after it freed more hostages, including a 4-year-old orphaned by its attack. The pause that began Friday has seen dozens of hostages freed, with over 100 Palestinian prisoners released by Israel in return. Attention now has turned to whether the truce will be extended before its scheduled end early on Tuesday morning. Hamas has signaled its willingness to extend the truce. Under the truce, 50 hostages held by the militants were to be freed over 4 days in exchange for 150 Palestinian prisoners. And in sports news, Nigeria's hope of qualifying for next year's T20 Cricket World Cup was brightened when the national team, also known as Yellow Greens, defeated Tanzania at the qualifying competition holding in Windhoek, Namibia. Nigeria's hope of making the World Cup were dented on Thursday when the team lost narrowly to Kenya. The Yellow Greens needed a win against Tanzania to restore any hope of a top 2 finish from the 7-nation qualifiers. And still in sports, Erling Haaland's goals against Liverpool on Saturday was his 50th in the Premier League in a record 48 games, having scored 36 goals, a Premier League record in 35 games in his debut season. Haaland has followed up with 14 in his first 13 appearances this time. That 48-game total makes him the first player to reach 50 goals at better than a goal per game, with the record previously held by former Newcastle and Manchester United striker Andy Cole, who reached the mark in 65 appearances. The Norwegian was also the quickest ever to both 10 and 25 goals, reaching the former tally in a remarkable 6 games and going on to 25 in 19. And that's a wrap on the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for watching.